What's much more rare than people realize, lesbianism. LGBT only makes up about 5% of an average population, and lesbianism is always the smallest subgroup of that. More non-straight women tend to identify as bisexual or bi-curious, with the largest LGBT subgroup being gay men. Motor neuron diseases such as ALS, it has an incidence rate of something like 1 in 100,000 and is officially designated rare by the UN and WHO. At any one time, there are something like just 500,000 patients globally, trans persons. I'm all for awareness and representation, but come on, LGBT people are like a minority of a minority. Tradcons claim we have an agenda because of how much lovey LGBT media there is out there, and it's kind of nuts. As a lesbian trans woman, even I'm kind of bored with the tough female lead turning out to be lesbian bi. Pretty much all of the things that the news media sensationalizes the latest something the kids are doing. Even the worst of them I can think of, the fucking Tide Pods thing sounds like a lot at face value. 7,000 or so kids were reported by Poison Control. Until you realize that 7,000 kids out of something like 73 million is an incredibly insignificant number to attribute to kids as a whole. People actually taking marriage seriously, as in keeping true to the vows they promise. Till death do us part, for so many people, really means till an affair, opportunity, porn, work, friends, etc. etc. Does part them. A married man saying no and turning down a woman that is not his wife offering sex. I am sure maybe 95 of 100 would go for it. Christian charity. As any server after church has finished, or the homeless kicked out of warm churches back into cold streets, or the people paying retail prices for donated clothes so the priests can afford a private jet. It doesn't not exist, but you would be lucky to find it in a mega church. The amount of comments here that aren't direct copies of answers from the previous rare than people realize thread. And it seems like the bots are deleting their comments. Fascinating. On Earth, helium. It is estimated by some that we have as little as 25 years of helium left, or as much as 200. People use it for novelty reasons, however it is an important resource for medical and scientific purposes, service providers for modern infrastructure. Some very specialized services don't need to happen often, and there's only 1-2 companies that do that kind of work. Think dam integrity testing or optometry, surgical equipment calibration. A happy marriage like my parents. They've been together for 27 years, they still flirt with each other, and Dad bring home chocolate for her Claude. He always calls before he leaves work to ask if she wants anything from the store. Voter fraud in the US. It's incredibly rare, and there is no evidence of a large conspiracy. It's almost always a felon voting when ineligible, or a Republican trying to prove that it's easy to vote multiple times. Helium. It's so light that it escapes the Earth's gravity and drifts into space. We may only have 30 years supply left, and people waste it in balloons. It has important industrial and medical uses. Us, each and every one of us, appear to be the anomaly in a never-expansive, cold and random universe. Everything that ever happened on the only rock known to contain life lead to your existence. Someone else will have to step in and back this up, but helium is only naturally occurring. And from another post which I can't find to save my hide, what we have is all we have. The total amount of gold ever mined. All of the gold discovered thus far would fit in a cube that is 23 meters wide on every side. Stranger kidnappings. They happen almost never. Lots of kidnappings by estranged parents, relatives, and family friends though. Northern Lights. The amount of people I've heard say, "We've come all this way, what time do they come on?" is staggering. Northern Lights. The amount of people I've heard say, "We've come all this way, what time do they come on?" is staggering. Going pro in sports. You have a better chance of getting bit by a shark in a public swimming pool than you do going pro. Loving and being loved back. I wish everyone could experience it because it's so valuable in a world so cruel. Red facial hair. It's even more rare than red-headed people, which are only about 2% of the world population. Actual talent. Most people are terrible at everything. Actually being good at something is rather rare. Tetanus, we get vaccines for it, but it's actually a bit harder to get than you may believe. Someone who has threatened to sue you follows through and files a lawsuit against you. An active listener friend, and a friend who is good about celebrating you. People randomly getting trafficked during their normal daily routine. Well done, insects! You're probably still going to get a parasite. Critical thinking. Man, I haven't seen that in someone in a while. Murder in America. Our murder rate is not as bad as it could be. Anything less than a solid gold track by brand Nubian or Tribe, that people actually are about something other than themselves. Fishing IRL and finding a crate with loot or rare epic fish. Green eyes make up just 2% of the global population. Helium finite resource we've been wasting on dang balloons. People who remain friends with you once you leave school. Only 8 have to tongue rooted to the bottom of their mouth. My mom is heterochromic. One blue eye and one green eye. Success with CPR, at least the way media portrays it.